Hey y'all, welcome back to Life with Lolo. It is time for another recap of P-Valley. This is season 1, episode 8, and it was titled Murder Night. This, unfortunately, was the season finale, y'all. I am so sad because they only gave us 8 episodes, and this show is so freaking good. Like, they could have gave us 10 or something, but they only gave us 8. So, we gotta wait until next summer. Hopefully it'll come back on next summer, because we don't even know if it was interrupted by corona or anything like that, because you know a lot of our shows was interrupted by corona. So hopefully they are able to, or were able to, pump out some more episodes or whatever before it was shut down, so we can get something next summer, child. Because if we gotta wait another summer, whew, baby, and I think I'm gonna go back and watch all 8 episodes all over again, because it's just that good. Like, the dancing, the characters, like, it is just that good. So I definitely am going to go back and watch all, rewatch all 8 episodes back to back again. But at any rate, let's just jump into this episode. Now, it was a lot going on, especially at the same time. So hopefully I don't miss anything. And if I do miss anything, just charge it to a lot going on in the episode. And I tried to get everything that I could get. So let's just get into it real quick. So, it opens up with where we kind of left off last week with Haley in the Paradise Room. And shout out to me, 8 episodes to realize that it was called the Paradise Room. I kept calling the Cloud Room, the Dungeon Room. I don't know how I kept missing it was called the Paradise Room, but it's the Paradise Room. So they in the Paradise Room, and Montavious is asking for his mother freaking money, okay? And she like, if you want the money, it's not in here. He was like, well, where the money at? And she was like, it's at the bank. He was like, you put $250,000 in the bank and ain't nobody ask no questions, and Chuckalisa. And she was like, yeah, I mixed it in with the stripper money, put some beer on it, put some, you know, made it look dirty and stuff, so they ain't even question it or whatever. And he was like, they should have known that you wasn't making all this money in this hole in the wall or whatever. And she was like, they don't know how I'm making my money. I could be going from different states or whatever, going to different strip clubs, making all my money or whatever like that. They ain't asking no questions and stuff. And he was like, yeah, from a former corporate accountant. So we find out how she know all about trading money, how she know all about offshore accounts and stuff, because she was a corporate accountant. Apparently they worked together or whatever, and she was like, they always underestimate how smart the pretty girls are. And he was like, yeah, y'all pretty ass bitches always get away with murder. And I think she said sometimes or something, and somebody started knocking on the door. So they come out, we need the room, I need the room, open up, I need the room or whatever. Haley tried to run. He grabbed her neck by the neck or whatever. And she was like, he was choking her. A child. And she was like, well, if you kill me, you ain't going to get the money. So then he released her neck or whatever and let her go. Whoever was knocking at the door kind of got away. So she was like, they going to see. No, she said, I don't know why I came in here. And he said something. I couldn't make it out. And then she was like, well, they going to see or whatever. And she was like, it's cameras all over the place in here. And so he looked shook for a little bit. And then he was like, that's why you need to start shaking your ass or whatever. I said, ooh, child. Then we see, so she in there dancing. We see her dancing. We see Mercedes dancing on outside the Paradise Room with Coach. We see Mississippi in the back with all the strippers throwing the money up and stuff. She doing a promo on Instagram. You know how Mississippi do to get more people in there. I said, girl, they ain't even got enough room for the people outside in the line. You want more people to come? But anyway, she like, it's the last supper. Come on down here, whatever. Throughout the whole thing, Uncle Clifford is hyping up the crowd outside or whatever like that. We see Mississippi, she in the back now, she beside Lil Murder. Because remember, Lil Murder was standing outside, like behind the curtain on the stage or whatever. So now we see Mississippi, she beside him. They finna go on stage. DJ Never Scared is like, we got the track prince and the pole princess. They about to hit the stage. So the crowd feeling it. They going wild and stuff. Them two come out there. Mississippi did her goddamn thing. Lil Murder did his thing. He started rapping. Then it came to the hook. The crowd started singing the hook. So he feeling himself. He like, oh yeah, I made it. The crowd singing the hook and stuff like that. Child, he feeling it so much. He done threw his goddamn fur into the crowd. They like, ooh, Uncle Clifford like, he done lost his goddamn mind. What the hell? So, you know, she going crazy. Or whatever like that. We see Uncle Clifford tussling with the fur from this lady in the crowd. She like, you better get your hands off of that and whatever. So she snatched the fur. So then we see the manager while Lil Murda in Mississippi up on the stage, she's talking to the rap executive or whatever. And I was like, where have I seen him from? Where have I seen him from? He was in Monogamy. So if y'all ever watched the UMC channel, it's through Amazon Prime, or Amazon, I should say. You can get UMC. What is it? The Urban Movie Channel? I think that's what it's called. And it's a show called Monogamy. And he is one of the characters on that show. It's a good show. I like it. They only gave us like 6 episodes last season, which I was kind of disappointed in. Like, only 6? Like, hello. So, but it is a good show if you ever want to watch it. But at any rate, the executive, he back there talking to the management, or in the crowd talking to the management. And he like, look, this better have been worth my time coming down here. And the manager like, yo, I'm telling you, he got that shine or whatever. And the executive like, look, I ain't talking about his teeth, man, like whatever. And so the manager like, I'm telling you, he got it. And so he was like, well, I see some talent out there or whatever. He eyeballing Mississippi more than he looking at freaking Lil Murda. So then we see Derrick, he in the sideline, he over there hating real big, right? We see Baby Suge, so we outside in the line. We see Baby Suge, he got his little cane, he walking the line and stuff, and he telling them like what do he say? An addendum to what Uncle Clifford said, sign a petition. No John Hancock, no hard cock, or whatever. So he go, and then some youngin was like, I ain't finna sign no petition. He was like, you don't sign a petition, you ain't coming into this club. So he go over there and sit down, and Diamond, you know, he doing his thing, winding people and stuff. And child, why the dude try to get in there with a gun? I said, really? He's talking about some, I would have left it in my car, man, but I took an Uber or whatever. He was like, well, yeah, you gonna get this when you leave or whatever. So he put the gun in the little bucket where everything else was at. And then Baby Suge was like, well, ain't nobody getting through with you out here on the line, Diamond. And Diamond was like, yeah, I think it's gonna rain. So I don't know if that was cold for Baby Suge or something like that, but he took the box and took the box inside the club or whatever, you know, in the back office. And he was like, if you need me, hit me up on the Crooked. So he go in, what was happening, child? Oh, so he go in, he take the stuff back in. Next we see DJ Never Scared, he getting the crowd rowdy, like DJ Never Scared, DJ Never Scared. While he playing that hook or whatever, the girls, the other strippers coming out and stuff like that. So they, you know, pumping it up and stuff, because it's like the main event or whatever. It's about to be Lil Murda new song. So Lil Murda out there, he throwing money, he out there rapping, the girls dance. Let me just tell you, the whole freaking scene was dope as shit. Okay, it was dope. All their dance scenes and stuff like that have always been, I ain't got like, ain't nothing to say about it. It's I rewound it like 3-4 times. That's how good the dang one thing was. Oh, you see Uncle Clifford on the sideline. She tossing her dress in the air. She having a good ass time. The strippers doing that damn thing. Mississippi doing her thing. The song was popping. I was like, yo, I need that Mississippi Pride song, because that jink was knocking. Okay, they was doing the damn thing. We see Mercedes in the back. She's still dancing on Coach or whatever like that. Coach saying he drove a long way to see her do her last dance and stuff. And Mercedes, she get all like real serious like, and she like, well, that's all you came down here for. He was like, no, you know, like, you know, I'm for you or something like that. You know, I want more from you and whatever. She was like, yeah, because you real caring, you real this. You invested in me and stuff. And he was like, yeah, you know, you my girl or something, he said. And she was like, well, am I that enough to get 10K and stuff? He was like, whoa, that's a lot for a dance. The most I gave was 300 or whatever. And she was like, well, look, don't trip. It's always been about business or whatever. He was like, yeah, well, what you need a 10K for? And she said it's for my gym. Like, she got into like a whole, you know, the whole thing with her mama. She didn't say all that, but she was just like, and I then came back up on some money and all I am is short 10K. And he was like, you know, you got it or whatever. And so he said he wanted to be her partner in the gym. And she was like, no, that ain't happening. And so he was like, well, I need something to give you this 10K or something like that. And she was like, well, what you need? He was like, you know what I want you to do? I want you to be my princess in the palace or something like that. So basically he want her to be the side chick and put her up in the put her up in the condo, have her in the box seats and all this other stuff. He want to do all this for her or whatever. And she was like, well, what about your wife? And he was like, she already know. I said, ooh. And so, Mississippi, why I keep calling her Mississippi? Mercedes was like, looking. And so he tried to kiss her on the cheek or whatever. And she turned her face. And then he was like, the pose to the palace. And then he started kissing on her neck or whatever. So it looked like she was kind of thinking about it, but So then we see Lil Murder and Mississippi. They finished their thing or whatever. They coming off the stage, child. All the ones on that stage, child, that in the hoe with me. Woo, woo, woo. I said, Lo. Nope. That ain't, you ain't about that life no more, Lo. You ain't about that life no more, Lo. But them ones, I saw them. Child, but anyway, so Murder Mississippi get off the stage, and Zach, he said something real corny, like, take all my money, take all my jewelry, I just give it to you for you steal my breath away, or some corny shit he said, child. He basically telling him that he want to sit down on the side and, you know, chat with them or whatever. Here go Derrick, old bitch made ass. He all, Keeshawn. He all in the, like, come on. So she sees him and she like, okay, well, y'all go ahead and handle your business or whatever. Oh, child, why some girl... Some girl come up to Lil Murder with her big old titties talking about something. Can you sign my titties, Lil Murder? He like, okay, all right. Here come Uncle Clifford. Did not say ain't no titties and tequila up in here. That's the rules tonight. You better go on with your big president of the big old titty kid. What did she say? The big old titty committee. She sent the girl on her way. I said, Lord, Uncle Clifford, you can't be getting jealous like this. But she did all that. Got the and sent the girl on her way. And then exactly like, yeah, Lil Murder over here making these girls pussies wet or drip or something, he said. And then Uncle Clifford kind of walked away. Keeshawn was like, okay, y'all go on. I'm going to go, you know, work the floor and stuff. And so the exec like, no, you part of this deal too. Y'all partners. So you come with us to the thing. Oh, bitch made Derrick. Keeshawn, he following them or whatever. I said, if he don't, Then we see Baby Suge, he in the back eating Chinese food or whatever. Uncle Clifford come back there. She all excited. You see this? All this money and stuff. Them girls popping that pussy like it's, what she say? Like it's going out of style. Baby Suge was like, yeah, well, they need to because it's about to go out of business tomorrow. I was cracking up. Uncle Clifford was like, just count the damn money. He was like, I already counted the money and stuff. So then Uncle Clifford go over there to the box and stuff and she putting on like the no knuckle bracelet and stuff. I said, who was trying to bring in a little baggie of wise chips into the club? If they'll stop playing with me. But we see on the camera, or Uncle Baby Suge was like, because Uncle Clifford said, well, ain't nobody following the rules. And then Baby Suge was like, not even a dancer. So they looking at the camera. All of them took her top off. So remember, ain't no taking the tops off in the VIP room tonight because of the new rule and stuff. So Uncle Clifford like, tell Diamond to handle that. So Baby Suge gets on the mic and says 2-0 in the Paradise Room or whatever like that. Diamond like, well, I'm doing something out here in the line. So Baby Suge was like, all right, I'll handle it. So yeah, so Baby Suge said he was gonna handle it. Outside, we see the big dude, remember the young guy or whatever, the little chunky boy who be holding man's ankle bracelet. He trying to get into the club. He got a fake ID. Diamond looking at the ID like, are you serious right now? But ain't nothing he can really do. It looked legit. So he let the boy in or whatever. He was like, go on, have fun or whatever. He let him in. What happened? So Baby Suge in the back, he gets a text message saying that a shipment is coming in. So he don't even go to Autumn in there and help her out. I'm like, dang, god dang. So he like, well, I guess everybody breaking Uncle Clifford rules today. So he goes out in the back. We see the little chunky boy, he go knocking on the back because I guess somebody told him what Mercedes was, child. But he go knocking on the back. And Mercedes opened the door. She like, what you doing here? What is this? And he hands her the flyer that man had found of Haley or whatever. And she like, well, what is it? He was like, well, I got this from man. He wanted me to get this to you or whatever like that. She was like, well, why he didn't give it to me himself? The little chunky boy said that man let his cousin hold his ankle bracelet, child. He went to do something. He was like, I told him just give it to me, but he gave it to his cousin. His cousin went to go rob a Crystals. Put the damn ankle bracelet. What kind of sense do that make, child? But I guess he did it because he knew that man was going to be attached to the ankle bracelet and he wasn't going to get in trouble. So I guess that made sense. So anyway, Mercedes looking at the picture. She looking at the picture. And then she sees in the picture, it was the dude's hand, and it got a ring on there. Mind you that she had saw Montavious earlier in the club, and so she recognized the ring. So then it started flashing in her head how Autumn was looking scared, all this other stuff. So she like, all right, whatever, go on now and get. And so the young dude, he was like, oh, that's what's going on in the She's like, go on here, mind your business, stuff like that. And the coach, she talking about something. These people running a daycare up in here. So she goes over there to Coach and he was like, well, what you think about my deal posed to the princess? And he was like, well, I'm gonna have to think about that. Just give me a couple, just let me think about it a little bit or whatever. So then she goes, so she, leaves out the room. She go running. Her booty just jiggling. She go running to the back. Jiggle. So she go into the back. She knock on the back door to where Uncle Clifford office at, where Baby should be at and stuff. And Diamond, I guess, sometimes be in there when he ain't, doing the line. She knocked on the door. Uncle Clifford, Big L, Diamond. Ain't nobody answering because nobody's in the office. I said, oh my goodness. So, what else happened, child? So we see Baby Suge, he in the back with Gidget Man or whatever. I forgot. I don't know his name. But, child, why Gidget Man whispering? Baby Suge like, what you whispering for? He like, I don't want Gidget to know where I'm at. Where she at? I said, what the hell? Oh, and Gidget better not find him because she's sexually frustrated too, child. Ooh, child. But anyway, he opened up the back of the truck. It's all these boxes talking about canned okra, but it's filled with Oxy or whatever like that. I said, ooh, child, Baby Suge about to get in trouble. So then we back in the back with the executive, Little Murder, Mississippi. They talking about how the executive had met the manager. I guess they worked in the funeral home together or something like that. The executive asking Lil Murder if he's a lame, he don't want him out here flexing and he ain't really about their life or whatever like that. And he was like, well, I'm not flexing or nothing like that. I always carry my gat on me or whatever. And he was like, he a hustler. So they kind of talking about because the exec was like, you spending all your money on the wrong stuff. I see you got them fronts in your mouth. You got all them chains on. You got all that Versace, that Louis, all that stuff on. But you ain't, doing your money right. And he was saying, we going to get you a new producer. And he was like, DJ never scared my producer. He was like, oh, that one over there doing it. And then why he doing that? I said that was the wrong moment. But the manager, he telling him you need a new manager. He was like, well, move my manager. He was like, no. And the manager well, damn, what? And so he was like, well, I'm trying to get you a 360 deal, and the only way you're gonna get that is dealing with some real people, whatever. Uncle Clifford come in there and was like, oh, what y'all talking about or whatever. And so she was saying y'all want a VIP room or something like that or whatever. And then Lil Murder snaps and was like, we talking about business right now. And so it was real harsh. It wasn't no softness, nothing like that. So Uncle Clifford caught it and was like, oh, okay, well, y'all just let me know if y'all need something or whatever like that. And so she also tells Keeshawn that her regular, talking about Derrick, because Derrick's staring the whole time inside the room or whatever. So she was like, your regular out here looking for you or whatever. So Uncle Clifford leaves out the room. So when Uncle Clifford, I'm sorry about that, y'all, my dang old neighbors and their motorcycles. Uncle Clifford leaves out the room. So when Uncle Clifford leaves out the room, here go the exec up here doing his little gay bashing thing. Oh, these people don't know if they want to be bitches or niggas and all this. I'm straight about mine. I got clarity and all. So what you guys talk about it for? Oh, okay. But anyway, Lil Murder don't say nothing. Keeshawn was like, you better stop talking about my boss, okay? Because what she say, I had wrote it down too. She was like, you may think Uncle Clifford a pump, but that bitch got a tongue like a Draco. Rat-tat-tat-tat, that's not Beto or something like that. He was like, oh, let me find out you got bars or whatever. And I was like, Keeshawn, you better go ahead and stand up for Uncle Clifford because goddamn Lil Murder old ass ain't. But anyway, he's talking about he gonna sign her up for some stuff and all this other stuff. The executive sweating, he thirsty for Mississippi or whatever like that. And he's saying he gonna sign her up and gonna sign Lil Murder up too. Then Lil Murder, you see him feeling some type of way because of what he just did to Uncle Clifford. And then back in the Paradise Room, child, what's the child name? Haley. She in there, she dancing. He's talking about something, when you think with all those lessons at the Houston pole pilots, you should have been able to twerk better than that or whatever. And he said something else. I don't know what she said, but he said something like, what did he say? I'm trying not to do like I did your boy. So somebody she worked with knew where she was, I guess, and knew what was going on with the money. She was like, what you do to him? And so he was like, well, I held him over the balcony, blood rushed to his head and all this other stuff. He put up a good fight or whatever. But before he died or took his last breath, he gave me information on this account in Chuckalisa. So that's how he found Autumn or whatever like that. So, he basically, I guess, threw the dude off the dang on balcony or whatever like that. So he gave up the account, and he was saying something like, you should have been my wife, or how my wife would do me like this. She was like, I'm not your wife. He was like, well, you should have been my wife. You should have been married or whatever. And she was like, well, she said you was married to something. I guess the organization he was with, because he said the Delta Devoted. I think the Delta Devoted. And he was like, I devoted my life to them. And I guess that's where all the money came from. I guess they was doing something illegal with some money or something. I'm not sure, but I guess that's where all the money came from. And that's where she's siphoned the money from or whatever. Somebody knocks on the door at this time. So he like, the room occupied. She was like, it was Mercedes. So she was like, it's bottle service. And so Haley was like, I'm going to go get it. He was like, you stay right there. So he goes to the door. And she got a bottle in her hand, and she like, he was like, well, I'm not interested in no bottle. She was like, well, it come with the Paradise Room, and so do an extra set of titties or whatever like that. And so she come in, you know how Mercedes, she just barge on in. So she come in, they exchange glances, her and Autumn, they exchange glances, and then she put the bottle down, and she put the glasses down. And at first I thought she was just going to hit him with the bottle, but she ain't do all that. She poured some, alcohol in there, and she was like, now you got brown and white, but try not to mix the two. It can be, it can make a nigga sick or whatever. So he just looking like, So Uncle Clifford in the back, she, all emotional. She don't know what to do. She at the jukebox. She don't know she should, hit some music on the jukebox. She just start pouring a drink because, she trying to steady her nerves because what Lil Murder just played her pretty much. But he ain't player to player, but he's still in the closet, basically. He don't want to mess up his money. He don't want to mess up his reputation. He don't want to be known or whatever like that. So, and I already knew this was going to happen. That's why I kept saying, like, why is he doing all this when he knows he's not going to come out? But then it looked like he was, but then he showed, look. So, Lil Murder, he come on, no. So then Uncle Clifford looked at the camera or whatever like that, and she calls Diamond. It was like, because now it's Mercedes and Autumn in the room, but Autumn still got her titties out. She like, Diamond, didn't I tell you to handle this or whatever? He was like, look, I'm running the line or whatever like that. And Baby should say he was going to handle it or whatever. She was like, well, he ain't handle it, so you need to go on and handle it or whatever like that. It's a knock on the door. It's Lil Murder. Lil Murder come in, and she like, what happened? Oh, she was like, it ain't, I don't know if he said something. She was like, well, it ain't exactly what you wanted or whatever. And he was like, did Lil Murder say something? No, I think Lil Murder was just looking stupid. But Uncle Clifford was like, you ain't want to suck and fuck in the dark, but now that's what you about or something like that. And I don't think Lil Murder, he might have said something, but it wasn't really like substantial, so whatever. He ain't apologized. Oh no, he did say something. He was like, I don't know, I was just flexing or whatever like that. It's a habit. And she was like, somebody told me, believe, if somebody show you who they are, believe them, pretty much. Believe what that person show you or whatever. And she was like, you Lil Murder now. And she was like, I met Lil Marcus, and I like Lil Marcus because Lil Marcus was on his way out. He was, wanting to come out and show the world me and all this other stuff. But Lil Murder, until you want to come out and show me Lil Marcus and Lil Murder want to come out too, then you talk to me. Other than that, you know where the door at and you know where the window at. And so she basically put Lil Murder out. I said, because ain't nobody finna play you, just want to keep you in the damn dark. You need to bring me out in the light too. Ain't nobody got time for that. And that's what she had said when she had said, when she was talking to Diamond, but she was, you know, because she was upset. She was like, ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for it. So that's what she said. She kicked him out. So then we see Mississippi still, no, did Mississippi leave? Yeah, Mississippi was still talking or whatever like that. And he talking about, Mississippi was still talking to the executive. He talking about putting her on Cirque du Soleil, the Nike deal. Here come bitch made Derrick coming in there. He like, Keeshawn, can I talk to you? She like, I'll be there in a minute. I'll be there. And she had a little nice little polite voice on, I'll be there in a minute. And he was like, Keeshawn, I want to talk to you. I'll be there in a minute. And he was like, Keeshawn, I'll be there in a motherfucking minute. I said, ooh, child. No. So the exec like, well, damn, he act like he your man or something like that. Cause, he was just being worrisome. So she finished it up with the exec and said she was going to hit the floor or whatever like that. He gave the card. The manager is in there with the exec. And he like, yo, you want to sign her? You want to sign, you know, a little murder because you talking to her more or whatever. And he was like, look, your homeboy, he is a dime in a dozen. He, dude like him come every day or whatever like that. She the real talent. Like, look what she doing and stuff like that. So basically, he came down there, fell in love with Mississippi and want to see Mississippi, win and come up or whatever. What else? So then we see Derrick. He grabs Mississippi, like got her pent all up on the DJ booth, talking about something. Well, at first he was like following her, and he was like, well, what was that all about? She was like, oh, that was just the manager and stuff like that. They talking about signing up me and Lil Murder and all this other stuff. And he was like, well, is he trying to sign you up or be a pimp or something? And she was like, what? No, what is you talking about? So then he grabbed her up, put her all up on the DJ booth and was like, you need to come home, basically. And she was like, well, I got money to make, Derrick. He was like, if you don't get in that car, you gonna regret it or whatever. She was like, I'm gonna regret coming home and stuff. And then he was like, get your shit and I'm gonna go pee. And when I finish pissing, you better be outside in the effing car. So he leaves. We see Diamond across the club or whatever. He sees what happened to Keeshawn or whatever. In the paradise room, child. We back in the paradise room. So we back in the paradise room. Montavious, old roach looking ass, he's talking about something, my glass is empty. Mercedes was like, but the bottle's still half empty. He was like, he just poured it out. He was like, well, it's empty now, whatever. She was like, he was like, no, can you leave so I can finish throwing some money at her or something like that. She was like, well, if you throwing all that money, no, he was like, so I can finish getting my dance because it cost me a lot or something like that. She was like, well, if it cost you a lot, the floor should be green. It shouldn't be still purple or stuff like that. So he was like, well, she been dancing a little stiff. So he pulled out a wad of money and was like, won't you go leave me and her or whatever. So she grabbed the money. You know, Mercedes gonna get that bank. So she grabbed the money and was like, if Haley want me to leave, then I'll leave. But until she tell me to leave, I'ma stay. So then, you know, all of them already know, boom, because she called her Haley. And did she ever tell her name was Haley? I don't think she ever told her name was Haley. I'm not sure. But it registered her head. So Haley was like, no, you can go or whatever like that. And so she was like, you should go. And so she looked scared or whatever. And so Mercedes was like, all right, well, what kind of drink you want? He was like, surprise me or whatever. So then she takes the bottle, broke that drink, and was just like, went to him. And so I said, yes, get him, Mercedes, get him. So they tussling. Somehow he grabbed Mercedes, put the damn one bottle up to her neck and stuff like that. All them having flashbacks. So when he pointed the gun at her or whatever, she was like, stop. It's here. The money is here. He was like, I thought you said it was at the bank. She was like, the club is the bank. I've been putting the money here, whatever like that. And she was like, just let her go. He was like, well, you got 5 minutes to go get that money or whatever like that. And so we hear Mercedes talking about something, you hurting me. All them runs out to paradise room. She goes to her locker. She grabbed the bag. She put her clothes on real quick. She reaching for the gun. The gun gone. I said, oh my goodness. Freaking, what's that girl name? Mississippi must have grabbed the goddamn gun. So we see Haley, because she got her clothes on. She got the duffel bag. She runs back outside. So inside the paradise room, Mercedes is talking to Montavious. He like, you think she gonna come back? And Mercedes like, she gonna come back for me or whatever. And he was like, well, she left me bleeding on the kitchen floor. The whole time we see Autumn running, like running outside, running in her car, putting it in the reverse and stuff like that. And Miss Mercedes like, you probably deserve it. And he was like, she stole my money or whatever. And something he said something else, and she was like, he was like, the Haley I know is a cold bitch or whatever like that. And he said, she brought that baby in my house, I'm damn near raised that baby, and then she ran out on me like a thief in the night. And Mercedes like, good mothers are built that way. And so, like I said, we see Autumn, she in the car and stuff, and she about to put it in reverse, and then she looked back and stopped. And so what happened? Oh, and so then Mercedes asked him, you don't want the money, do you, or whatever. And then he looked he paused or whatever. We see Lil Murder, he on the floor, he doing push-ups, he rapping again, the girls dancing and stuff like that. Back in the back, we see Baby Suge. He moving the drugs from the big truck or whatever, like the, what is it, the refrigerator truck. He moved it from the refrigerator truck to the his truck, the back of his truck or whatever like that. Uncle Clifford is on the speaker, on the walkie-talkie, like, Baby Suge, where you at? He was like, I'm in the office. She was like, well, I'm in the office and you ain't in here. He was like, I'm at the office adjacent. She was like, oh my God. And so Uncle Clifford looks up at the cameras. He sees that Mercedes, I think at this time, Mercedes was standing like right here or whatever. And Montavious was here, but he was pointing the broken glass at her or whatever. Then in the back, we see Derrick peeing. Diamond behind him, and he was like, yo, Derrick, why was you yoking up Keeshawn like that? And so Derrick said something, and then he was like, yeah, she always was into those gutter niggers. I said, what? And so they get to fighting, child. I said, oh Lord. Uncle Clifford sees Mercedes in distress at that point. He calls for Diamond. He calling for Diamond, or she calling for Diamond. She calling for Diamond. She calling for Diamond. Diamond ain't answering because he back there fighting with goddamn Derrick. So she grabbed the gun. Uncle Clifford, she grabbed the gun out the, the box. Remember the dude who ain't leaving in the Uber or whatever? It was that gun. She grabs the gun. We see Autumn. She comes back in the building. She in the paradise room. She got the money. She throws the duffel bag on the ground. And she was like, all my 200, he was like, all my 250K in there. And she was like, yeah, it's in there. So he goes I think he put the chair in front of the door or whatever like that. And then Haley was like, you didn't ask about Autumn. And so he was like, well, looking through the bag, he was like, well, I'm sure she okay. And so Haley was like, Autumn is dead or whatever. She drowned in the flood while I was trying to run away from you. Child, in the back, we see Diamond kicking Derrick ass. A gun fall out. I guess it was Diamond's gun. I don't know. A gun fell out. And then it was like going back and forth. So at one time, Derrick was beating Diamond ass. Then Diamond was beating Derrick ass. I said, oh Lord, Diamond, get your ass up. Beat his ass, Diamond. So they fall out into the club. So they bust out the bathroom. So then they into the club. The gun is there. So somebody had the gun in their hand or whatever like that. Here go bitch ass Montavious. Here he go talking about some in the paradise room, child. So we back in the paradise room. Like he said something like, that's what you get from running away from me or running out for me or something like that. Shot. So he like, what the fuck was that? The girls picked up the gun. And not the gun, the bottle. Was it another bottle in there? No. Pop, the guns shots outside in the club. Mercedes and Autumn exchanged glances. Mercedes kneed them. Autumn picked up something off the ground, hit him in the back of the head or whatever like that. I said, oh yes, do it, girls, do it. So then, what else happened, child? They bashing it. Everybody running in the club. They tussling in. Who had the gun? Oh, Diamond and Derrick tussling over the gun or whatever. People running out the back of the club. Uncle Clifford trying to get into the paradise room. The girls fighting Montavious. Mercedes stabbed him with something. I don't know what she stabbed him in the leg with, but he trying to get at Mercedes because she done stabbed him in the leg. He done grabbed her wig, snatched the wig up, because she was trying to get to the whole time they trying to get out the room. So you got to put a code in to get out the room. You got to put a code in to get in the room. So Uncle Clifford trying to get in the room. They trying to get out the room. It was a whole bunch going on in there. So Montavious ends up snatching Mercedes' wig off. Uncle Clifford comes in the room with the gun. I think he pulled the trigger or whatever. Then outside in the club, child, Derrick fucking up Diamond. I said, oh my God. Mississippi, because Gidget told Mississippi that Derrick and Diamond was in there fighting. So Mississippi runs back in the club or whatever like that. Diamond is fucking Derrick up at this point. Bow, bow, bow. Keeshawn like, Derrick, stop. Derrick, stop. So then when Diamond was fucking up Derrick, Keeshawn pulls out the gun that she must have got from Autumn's locker, points the damn gun at Diamond. I said, if this ain't Stockholm Syndrome at its finest, what the hell is going on around here? So she points the gun at Diamond. Diamond like, the fuck? Is you serious right now? And she like, I'm sorry. And then he looking like, what the fuck? Another gunshot go off. Uncle Clifford fighting with Montavious. Diamond, he just looking like, well, you on your own, hoe. With pretty much with Mississippi. So he goes in the back. He all, in position and stuff like that. He going to the back. More gunshots. Pop, pop, pop. Next we see some blood oozing out the Paradise Room. Whew, I said, Lord, this is too much. There's too much going on. So then it's the next day. We see Uncle Clifford grandma. She on the porch. She listening to the radio with the news on there. They talking about 20 people were injured. The mayor was on there talking trash about the strip club. We see Uncle Clifford grandma crying, but we know Uncle Clifford's still alive because she is coming out the door or whatever like that. And Uncle Clifford like, why are you listening to this trash anyway? She turned it off. She like, well, come on, let's go to this funeral. And so of course they all dressed in black. While the grandma grabbed the keys, I'm like, she just as blind as bad. She talk about as many times I drove down to that courthouse, I know where I'm going or whatever. Then we see Mercedes. She out front her gym, but now her mama's church, and she's sitting there crying. She got her braids in her head. She crying. The mama walk up, and Mercedes was like, God is the God of second chances and stuff. And so the mama was like in second and third ones. And then here she go. Like Mercedes was crying, all this other stuff. She was like, but you gonna have to talk to your God about this one. Cause remember, I'm dead to you. I said, are you serious? As much shit as you done did to this girl, and the first time, child, I felt so bad for Mercedes. Mercedes was crying, boohoo crying, banging on the church door, and her mama would not open up that door. I was just like, she really ain't shit. Then we see Andre, he checking out. Oh, that shady clerk talking about your husband been here so long. I bet he was able to get through that whole Bible on his nightstand. I was cracking up. The girlfriend, the wife was like, because Andre was like, well, you sure you want to go to this auction with me or whatever? She was like, yeah, I can really see how you work and stuff like that. And so she going to the auction. Everybody, all the strippers there, they all dressed in black and stuff. The mayor, just like the devil he is, he dressed in goddamn red. He all up in the grandma face talking shit. She like, fuck you. And they like, woo. And so the mayor going to talk to Uncle Clifford like, well, hopefully we'll have a job for you. You can run the buffet table at the casino or whatever like that. So then of course Uncle Clifford was like, boy, bye. The person, the auctioneer or whatever, he like, the paint is up for foreclosure. Let's start the auction. Andre, he hype as hell. They ain't even call for no bid. She was like, honey, they ain't even call for nothing. Chill out. He was like, I know, I'm sorry, whatever. But I got a 200 cap. I got 200 cap. So we gonna get this or whatever. And nobody else was really there to outbid him. But he kept putting up the thing or whatever. Next, we see somebody, we hear 57K. The auctioneer was like, okay, let's go to the lady in white. So Andre looking like the lady in white. It's Haley, y'all. She up there, she outbidding Andre. She was just like 150K. Like, I ain't got time for these little pennies. 150K. They looking like what? The mayor like, go on, get it. So the mayor like 200K. And so oh no, what the mayor? I forgot what because I think all of them said 200K or whatever. Here go the grandma. Ooh, that's more than what my coochie worth. I was cracking up. So Andre like, look, I can't go higher than 200K. I got to call Bill up or whatever. So the mayor grabs the thing. He was like 215K. Andre like, I ain't got permission for that. I ain't got permission for that. So he calling Bill up. Or whatever like that. Bill finally answers the phone, or what was it? Yeah, because it was quiet after 250K. Then Autumn bust out with 250K. Andre did get Bill on the line, but he ain't say nothing. I said, okay, Andre. Okay, I see what you're doing. So, because she looked at him. She took her glasses off, looked at him. Her eyes was all black and stuff like that. So he let her get it or whatever. So the mayor, he pissed off and he like, look, for somebody to have they must have the funds to buy this right here, right now. Autumn bust out that money and put that on there and shut his ass up real quick. I said, yes, girl. So, of course the mayor mad. He mad that he got outbid and stuff. He cussing at Andre and stuff like that. Bill gets on the phone and, cause the wife like, your phone ring, you gonna answer that? So Bill gets on the phone and Bill like, well, this to mess up the whole plans and stuff like that. And Andre ain't really saying nothing. He just staring at Autumn and the wife looking too like, what's going on with this? I said, ooh, you in trouble, Andre. And so that was that. Cause I don't know if the casino going to come there now, but he was saying, cause Bill was saying this to effed up the whole deal or whatever. So then we see Uncle Clifford go to Autumn. And she was like, look at you all in your sunglasses, all in white after Labor Day. You still breaking all the rules. You know that's bad luck. She was like, well, you make your own luck, partner. And so then they shook hands or whatever. And the stripper's like, well, does that make her our boss now? Whatever. At the club, grandma making drinks and stuff, telling her stories. Haley like, she don't drink no more. The grandma, I'm like, well, what kind of hoe was you? Uncle Clifford like, grandma, your man. She was like, oh, I'm sorry. What's your name? She was like, Haley. Oh, I was close. So then she go up on the stage and stuff. Uncle Clifford like, well, now you know what go on in the Paradise Room. And then she was saying like, why did you come back and save the pink? She was like, well, because I felt like I owed you, but now you owe me or whatever. So then Mercedes comes in and she all crying and stuff. I guess, I don't know. I wonder if Mercedes was the one who pulled the trigger. But cause she all sad and teary-eyed and stuff like that. She was like, what about last night? And grandma was like, look, last night was last night. Tomorrow is today and whatever. And so Mercedes was like, well, did y'all handle it or whatever? Was it taken care of? Uncle Clifford was like, it was taken care of. Haiti was like, good, because it's opening time at the Pink. And then it went off. I said, ooh, yes. I said, I cannot wait until season 2 come on, because let me tell you, season 1 was good. So they got to bring it in season 2. And like I said, I'm going to rewatch season 1 because it was just that good. What did y'all feel about the episodes tonight, y'all? Y'all let me know down there in them comments. I know this review long, but shit, it was good as hell. And there was a lot going on, so I wanted to get it all up in this review. So y'all let me know how y'all felt about the episodes tonight. If y'all like this review, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. Hit the notification bell to be notified for when I drop new videos. And also hit the subscribe button if you're watching this but not subscribed to my channel. All right, y'all. Until next time. Peace.